Hi my love. So today I wanted to do a video. I know I haven't done one in a minute. I have had a lot going on this semester with school, so I just wanted to sit down and do a quick tag video just because I haven't filmed in a while, and I figured this would be something that I could film really quickly and get it out to you guys really soon. So what I'm doing today is the tattoo tag video. I literally just googled tattoo tag and just whichever came up. So I don't know if there's like a different set of questions. If there is and there's any questions that you actually want to know the answer to, just write that in the comment section below and maybe I can do another video, or I can just reply to you my answer. So yeah, I'm just gonna get started. There's 21 questions and I'm just gonna go through them all, and I'll try not to bore you guys to death, pinky swear. So first question is, how many tattoos do you have? I have about 9 or 10. It depends on how you decide, like if the two on my feet are counted together or separately, since they are both the same stencil of a butterfly, just colored in differently. So if you wanted to count that separately, then I have 10. If you don't, I only have 9. Then number 2 is, what's your favorite tattoo? My favorite right now, I think, is the one on the back of my leg. It may change because I am in the process of getting one done right now. I had my first session and I'm going for my second session in May. So right now it's the one on the back of my leg, which if you don't know, I will have a link to my older tattoo, like just like a showcase of like all the tattoos and piercings that I have. If you want to see that, that will be linked below, maybe in the YouTube cards as well. But that is a ribcage heart, and it has the quote, "It's a lonely thing, protecting a breakable heart," and that's on the bottom portion of like the back of my calf. And then number 3 is, how old were you when you got your first tattoo and what was it? The first tattoo I ever got was the one that's on my arm. I got that when I was around 15 or 16. I can't remember which. I did have to go to another state. I actually drove to Jersey to get it done because I needed like in my state you can't get tattooed under 18. So I actually went to Jersey to get that one done. Alrighty, so number 4 is, what do your parents think about your tattoos? My mom personally kind of accepts them, but they're not her favorite thing ever. Like, she likes the way that they look, like individually. She kind of just wishes that I wasn't doing what I plan to do, which is get a full leg sleeve. It's just personal preference. She definitely comes from a time and a place where tattoos just aren't something you see. They're not a common thing, and stigmas towards tattoos was still, you know, around. So, which they still are around everywhere, but honestly, like, it's one of those things where she accepts that that's who I am and that I'm gonna get them regardless, just because they do have like deep meaning to me. But they're not her favorite things ever. You know, I could have something else in her opinion that I would do instead. So hopefully that kind of explained it. Then number 5 is, what does your boyfriend think of your tattoos and does he like them? Don't have one, so we're gonna skip that question. So number 6 is, did you always have a love for tattoos? Yes, I do think I've always had a love for tattoos. I love the way they look. I love the creativity behind them. I love that even like two people who get the same tattoo have different meanings for them. Like, I have an anchor, which is a pretty common tattoo, but it means something different to me than it does to other people. So yeah, I think I've always loved tattoos and I've always been fascinated with them. And I definitely feel like it's grown more, especially since I've started getting them. Now, number 7 is, do you plan on getting more tattoos in the future? I did kind of answer this a bit. I do plan on getting a full leg sleeve. I am in the process of almost completing the bottom half of my leg, so below the knee, minus any filler. So I'm almost done with that. I have my appointment to finish up the outside of my calf, and then all I have is like the top portion on the back of my calf to fill up, which I already know what I want. I just have to make the appointment. But yes, I do plan to get a full leg sleeve on my right leg. I don't know if I plan to get more that are like on other parts of my body. I was thinking of a chest piece. I'm not really 100% sure on that. Definitely as it goes along, if I do get any others, you guys will be the first to know. Also, if you want to see any pictures or things of my tattoos, I do have like the videos that I mentioned earlier, but I do post all my pictures on Instagram. So if you want to be the first to see when I get a new tattoo, I post it to Instagram. And that is linked off in the bottom bar below, and then a pop-up of my usernames comes up in the beginning and end of the videos. So yeah, so that was 6. So number 7 is, do you plan on, oh no, that was number 7. Number 8 is, which tattoo would you say it was the most painful? I felt like the last one that I got, which you can see a picture of it on my Instagram, it's not finished, it's just the rows of a bigger piece. I feel like that was pretty painful for me, and only because I wasn't feeling well that day, I think, because I had the worst experience that time. Like, after I got done tattooing, I was dizzy. I like literally sat in my car, and like my mom was expecting me home, and she was like, oh, like, where are you? I just got home. And I'm like, I'm literally sitting in my car in the parking lot because I'm so dizzy. I just need a minute to like kind of get my stuff together. I was sweating, I wasn't feeling good, so that was horrible for me. Other than that experience, which I just attribute to I wasn't feeling well, as far as pain goes, I definitely think it was my feet. I got both of my feet done in the same day, so that was like 5 hours of my day just getting tattooed on my feet, so that was pretty rough. Definitely, if you are getting your foot tattooed, we recommend trying to space it out if you can, just because by the time I was done with the first one, I was like, oh, thank God. And then second one comes around and I'm like, oh shit, like this needs to get done quick because I can't do this anymore. So yeah, feet definitely were the most painful. Number 9, do you regret any of your tattoos and why? No, I don't regret any of them. Even the ones that I didn't put much thought into, I do still love. Like the one on the back of my ear actually was going to be different, and it was going to be on my finger, like on my knuckle. The tattoo artist told me he wasn't going to tattoo my hands, which was fine, but I waited a long time that day to do a walk-in, so I ended up saying, you know what, screw it, I've always wanted something behind my ear, so I ended up putting what I have behind my ear, which is basically like a music note and a heart. And then the other one that I kind of didn't put a lot of thought into is the one on my ankle, which that just has a really cool story behind it, regardless of what it ended up being. My roommate wanted to get a tattoo. We called them up like really early in the day. They were like, you can come around close and we can squeeze you in. Ended up walking with her around 9:30 at night, like probably at least a 30-minute walk downtown, and she got something and I was like, you know what, screw it. I had to wait all day for this. I had to walk with you and it's a long ass walk. I'm gonna get something too. So I ended up getting that. It was, I think, probably our first or second semester of college, and we were like really great friends. We still kind of are. So it was kind of just a memorable experience for the both of us. So don't have any regrets. I don't really think I will have regrets on tattoos because I just love the funny stories that go behind some of them anyway. So yeah, number 10 is, what was your least painful tattoo? Least painful, definitely the one behind my ear. I didn't feel it at all. It was really, really small, so it didn't take a lot of time. I do recommend, if you want to get something done behind your ear and you're worried about it, don't even worry about it. It's the easiest thing ever. I had no issues with it. And healing was perfect for it too. Like honestly, it was the easiest healing of a tattoo that I've ever had. So definitely like recommend that area if you want to get tattooed. Number 11 is, do you worry about pregnancy with a stomach tattoo? I don't have a stomach tattoo. Do I worry about in general just like weight gain or like weight loss with tattoos? Yes, I think some people, especially if you are like me where your weight tends to fluctuate, you do kind of take that into consideration when getting tattooed. I really don't care anymore. I've kind of like tried to move past that because like, you know, your body over time is going to change anyway. So like, you really can't help it. And especially for like pregnancy, I mean, your baby's more important than how your belly looks or how your tattoo looks. So I personally, like, I don't think it's a huge issue for pregnancy, especially if you kind of work to get your body like toned again. Your tattoo will go back relatively to the way it looked in the beginning. So I don't really think it's a huge issue as far as that. The only time it may be is if you start getting like stretch mark scars through a tattoo. That might be where you might have to get it touched up or like covered up with something else like afterwards, once your body has kind of settled back down to where it was gonna like where it's gonna be at for a bit. But yeah, I don't really worry about it. I try not to, at least, and I don't think anybody should, because your body is just gonna change regardless over time. And then number 12 is, how do you get inspiration / ideas for each tattoo? I look a lot online, which is one thing for how I get like specific inspiration, but as far as like ideas for what I want to get, I definitely feel like it's a lot of personal experience. So a lot of life experience definitely has me thinking about things, and that's when I go like searching for, you know, what I have in my head and the idea I have in my head, to like search for some type of visual image that could kind of represent what I'm thinking about. So that's really what I do. I mainly base what I get off of like experiences. Honestly, some things I just like the way they look. Like, I just wanted lettering before on my ankle, excuse me, sorry. I wanted lettering and I got it and I love it. So regardless of what it says, I do still love it. Yeah, I really think like everybody picks from different areas, but mine's definitely personal experience and definitely just how I'm feeling. Number 13, what tattoo are you having removed and why? I am not getting any tattoo removed. I don't really plan on trying to get any removed. I don't have any that I would wish in the future to try to get removed or even just covered up. I don't really think, like, I'm not a person who really regrets anything, because like I said, regardless of what it is, sometimes they do all have like a really cool story behind it. So right now I don't have any, especially because mine are so new. I'm still very infatuated with all of them, but if I do ever decide that I want one removed, and for whatever reason, I will let you guys know. Number 14 is, what made you decide to get heavily tattooed? I don't think I'm at the point where you could consider me heavily tattooed right now. So I guess this is more of a future question for me, at least. So I personally, like, didn't just decide one day, oh, I want a lot of tattoos. I think what I wanted was like, okay, this is the idea of what I want the whole piece to be at the end, and then what kind of like area is this going to cover? And for me, it was like, okay, I love the way leg sleeves look, and then I want all these different like aspects to it. So I was like, why not put it all together and basically turn it into one big piece? So that's really what I wanted. It wasn't really just like, oh, I just want a bunch and a bunch and a bunch, like everywhere I just want to be covered. It was more or less just like, to get everything that I wanted into the piece that I wanted, it would have to be over a large area. So that's why I decided to get heavily tattooed. 15 is, if you could start again, would you pick completely different tattoos or do anything differently? I don't think I'd pick completely different tattoos, but I definitely do think I'd do some things differently. I think because I knew going in I wanted a full leg sleeve, I think I would have planned it out a little bit more, just because I did know already. I know when people start sleeves, a lot of the times they don't know that they're going to do a sleeve. They kind of just start adding things here and there, and then it ends up turning into one. But for me, since I knew it going into that, I feel like I could have pre-planned it a little bit better. But right now, everything's pretty like much fitting nicely enough that I'm happy with the way it's coming out. So would I change it? Like, yes, possibly. If I could have thought of a way to get it to be more cohesive, then yes. But I don't think I would change any of the ones that I have. Number 16, have you had any problems with getting a job with tattoos? No, I have not had a problem with tattoos, but I have had a problem with piercings. At one time, I was interviewing for a job and I was told that I can't have both of my nose rings in. I do have 3. I don't know if I had 3 at the time of the interview, but if I did, it was flipped up. I wouldn't have worn like all of it at the interview. But yeah, I did have her mention to me that the 2 would be a problem, and I ended up not getting a call back for the job. Like, I never heard from them again. So I'm assuming that it was that, because that was the only issue that I felt she had with me. But yeah, I have had problems with jobs because of piercings, but not necessarily yet for tattoos. Only because I think the only tattoo that I really have visible at all times is the one on my arm. Unless I'm wearing long sleeves, you always see that. And then the one behind my ear, if I have to have my hair up, you can always see that. But for the most part, even if I like tie my hair down at like the nape of my neck, you won't see it. So yeah, no tattoos, but definitely issue with piercings. Number 17 is, what aftercare do you use? I use just plain Dial, like the liquid orange Dial soap. I clean it with that for like the 2-ish weeks that you have to worry about like peeling and healing and scabbing over. And as far as like moisturizers go, I use Aquaphor for the first 2 or 3 days, and then after that I use just plain Curel lotion, which is basically a non-fragrance, like no dye, nothing in it, just plain basic lotion. So that's what I use after the third day and like throughout time. Like most of the time, even when I'm like now, I'll use that on my tattoos. Sometimes I will use something like a body butter now that they're healed, just to give a little bit more moisturization, because I do feel like the skin on top of that tattoo is slightly different than the rest of the skin on your body, so it does need a little bit extra moisture sometimes. So I do use body butters after like the first like 2 or 3 weeks, but until then I use just a very light, like non-scented lotion. 18, do you hate your tattoos sometimes? No, I don't hate them ever. I really, like, I've put a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of energy into getting them. I don't ever feel like I hate them. The only times that I feel like I don't like them per se is only like if I feel like I'm wearing a very girly or a very professional looking outfit. Sometimes I don't like the way it almost kind of clashes, but it's not even like a hate or even a dislike kind of situation. It's like more of a, okay, it's peeking through and it kind of looks a little bit random, only because all of my tattoos are pretty dark. A lot of mine are black and gray, so they do stand out. So sometimes it's like, okay, that's standing out, but that's not the part of my outfit or the part of like what I'm doing that I want people to focus on. So yeah, that's the only time I say I dislike it. And then also when people see them, sometimes it's really annoying. It is annoying when people want to come up and they want to stare at it or they want to touch it. I've had somebody poke the back of my neck. Oh my God, please do not do this if you are somebody who sees like a person who has tattoos. Do not touch them. Don't like just randomly come up and just like poke it or something. I had somebody do that to the back of my neck, like came up behind me and was like, oh my God, that's so cool, and just like poked me, and I'm like, no, please don't do that. So yeah, that's the only time it kind of sucks to have them, is because sometimes it's just very annoying, the attention that it brings. And then number 19 is, where do you get your tattoos done? I get them done locally. I do have links, I think, on my Instagram. Like whoever did the tattoo, I do tag them, I believe. I will link off the shop that I go to. It's called Graceland Tattoo. It's in Wappingers. I've been going there for like, I think, oh goodness, so 4 years of high school, we're in 2 years of college, and then 8 years now. I think 7 or 8, around 7, 8 years I've been going to them. So they're very, very good. Allison there has done all of my piercings. I've gotten tattooed by Evan, Joe, and Cookie there. I love all their work. If you don't know, if you've seen my other videos, the tree that I have was done by Cookie, and then the one behind my ear was done by him as well. Joe did the one on the back of my leg, which is the rib cage, and then Evan has done my feet. He's done my anchor, and he's also done my lost soul quote on my knee, and then also my new piece that I'm getting, the rose, he's done, and he's finishing that up as well. So he's done a lot of it. I love his work. He does a lot of like realism work, which is what I'm very interested in. So I definitely recommend that shop. I know Evan's books are closed right now, but all the other artists at that shop are perfect. I do love all of their work. Next question is, where wouldn't you get tattooed? Right now I have 3 places. One is my armpits, because I just, no, needles in the armpits, no fun. 2 is my butt, because I don't think I would have the courage to have somebody near my ass for an extended period of time to tattoo it. No, I don't really care that much to get my ass tattooed. And then 3, only mainly because of like jobs and stuff, neck and face. I love like neck tattoos. I definitely like think they look great, they look nice, and if they're done like a certain way, they can look very like tasteful, I guess is the word. I don't really know, because everybody has their own personal preference, but I do also really like face tattoos on people who have them. I love the way that they look. I just know that for the job market I'm trying to get into and the career that I'm trying to have, it's not an option for me. Unfortunately, I do wish that was different, but it's not gonna change in enough time for me to consider even getting it. So would I get one? Maybe on like the back of my neck, but nothing like around the sides or the front where you can always visibly see it, and then also nothing on the face, mainly just for jobs. Unfortunately, I wish it definitely could be different, but So number 21, which is the last question. So I think we made good time on this. Hopefully it wasn't too long. So number 21 is, what was your most recent tattoo? And my most recent tattoo, if you would like to see a picture, again, head to my Instagram. I don't want to post a picture here on YouTube yet because it is not finished. I've only done one session for this tattoo. I do have one, possibly two more. It depends on what he tells me if I need a second session to come back. But yeah, I do have to get the second session done, which actually is the majority of the piece. Right now I only have one rose. It's actually eventually going to be a broken compass and then another rose on top. So it's going to be a lot bigger than it is, which is why I don't want to show it. But if you would like to see the start of it, definitely go check out my Instagram. I do have a picture of the rose already. So that is my most recent one, and it will be getting finished soon. It's around, what is today's date? Let's see. It is April 16th, so I have about a month left before I get it finished. I'm getting my tattoo finished on May 19th, so check out for any videos or any Instagram or Snapchat or anything post on that day, because I will be posting right away. I always post an Instagram picture like the day of me getting one, so if you do want to always see what I get and like the new things that I get, definitely follow me on Instagram. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this tattoo tag. If you have any other questions that I didn't have in this list, because again, it was a pre-made list, if you want to know, you can always send me something on like social media, like Twitter, Instagram, all of that. You can send me through there, or you can put it in the comment section below and I will answer it. If I get enough questions, I may do another video. Also, don't forget to thumbs this video up if you like it, because it lets me know what kind of videos you guys like to see. I am not one of those money hungry people or like trying to do this because this is my job. I only really ask for likes because it tells me what kind of videos you guys are enjoying watching from me, and then I can do more of that style. And then also, if you haven't already, please subscribe. I know I was at 500, but I haven't checked back in a while, so I'm hoping it's still there. I hope that you guys can help me even grow further past 500, because I do appreciate all the support you guys give me. It definitely makes me more motivated to do videos. I know I'm having a hard time with balancing videos and school, but I definitely am going to try to work out something so I can eventually get onto like a pretty set schedule. It's just hard going back and forth to school and trying to keep a video schedule at the same time. So hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day wherever you are, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye everybody.